Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. So we have a huge list of new official branded creation parts coming to the game. This will probably be on the island. We'll talk about that here in a second. And we got a new feature coming to WWE 2K26's Creation Suite that literally just changed everything. And this comes from the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Shoutouts to him. He just posted this as I was making this video. So stick around. We'll talk about that. Let's get to the news, because holy crap, there's a lot to talk about.
Time for the main events!
Alright, this was posted a day or two ago, and for me, I could personally care less about official gear, but for those of you that really want to put yourself in the game with official apparel, or maybe your favorite apparel, maybe you love Nike and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of people that want that real life simulation aspect of the game. I understand that. For me, I'm more about the fantasy aspect. I like making original stuff as best I can with the parts that are available. I should really learn how to mod stuff in, because I would go nuts if I could figure out how to do that. I would have all sorts of cool creation parts in there. I'd probably I'd have Goku hair. I'd have One Piece pirate hats, and just all over the place. Just totally crazy. Anyway, so here are the official brands that got listed a couple days ago. It says Apparel Partner Spotlight. It says Antisocial Club, Chalkline, Complex. I haven't heard of any of those three. I believe this is Champion. I've heard of that one, of course. DSYF, Free and Easy, Fried Rice New York, Homage, Inside, Jordan's, of course, Market Studios, Nike. Never heard of Nike. Have you heard of Nike before? Nah, don't recognize this at all. Or Nikkei. What was that in? I think that was Back to the Future. He's got these boots that say Nikkei on them. Anyway, Puma, Stay Cool, Tough Crowd, Wanted Apparel, and of course the WWE Shop Apparel. Now, what sucks about having real official apparel in here, this also makes it to where they have a certain life for the game. And what I'm getting at here is eventually they're going to have to shut the servers off. One of the major culprits that they do this is probably because of stuff like this, because they don't want to have to pay to keep to keep the game alive. That's why they delist the game itself too, and probably take it off storage. Well, I think they probably just sell out until they run out of copies, and they just don't make the games anymore physically. But stuff like this, so the stuff that affects old wrestling games and why we can never get them back would be something like this, where they have official apparel and they don't have the license to use it in the game anymore, and they sure as heck aren't going to renew it because they want you to go buy the new game and whatever apparel and stuff and deals and partnerships they have with that. There's also the soundtrack that they put in the game. They'll have to renew it and pay those artists to keep, if people want to keep downloading or paying for the game. That's another reason why it gets delisted. So stuff like this is what I don't want in these games. I don't know why they keep trying to push towards the sports-like game style, I just want original creation parts that I can make more gimmicky characters. That's me. I understand the people that want real-life stuff in the game, but that's what the image uploader is for. It's like you could just literally upload it for free. But I think these brands trying to make a little extra bucks, and I have a very strong feeling that the creation parts in these official ones, probably won't be customizable. They're going to be like, if you want a blue Nike shirt, you're going to have to buy the blue one. If you want that exact same Nike shirt that's red, you're probably going to have to go buy the red one, or purple one, so on and so forth. You want those purple Nike or Jordan shoes? Well, you're going to have to pay for the purple ones. You can't just buy a set pair and then go colorize it. This is where the Creation Suite, they can go nuts with charging for, because I don't care about this stuff. Do whatever you want with it. I am sorry for those of you that don't like having to pay a ton of extra money for creation parts, but this is where they're really going to lead into. As long as we still get our cool original creation parts that we can actually customize and have fun with, if this is what pays for it, so be it. I'll take the hit, because as long as we're still getting original creation parts that are really cool, that they made up for the game itself, and they're not just like, oh, here's this guy's mask from this other game, or this guy's mask from another game. Like, I'm talking about real original creation parts that we can totally customize, put our logos on, and all sorts of stuff. Then I'm okay with them putting this in there. I will never use any of this stuff. Why do I care about Nikes and stuff like that? Ugh. Anyway, on to the next thing. So over on the Pro Wrestling Shoots X account, he responded to a fan, David J. Diaz, shouts to him. He says, "Can you confirm if alternate attires take up a creator wrestler slot?" And he responded, "We actually got this information at Creator Fest, and I am shocked nobody has spoke about it. This year, as long as entrance, theme, moves are not changed, alternate attires do not take up a creative superstar slot." Now, I think this is referring to in-game wrestlers, not our creative wrestlers. Because I was reading through this and I got really excited, but I'm like, wait. And then let's read it down here a little bit. It says, status is like, yeah. And then he says, wait, I can just keep making attires forever then? The Pro Wrestling Shoot responded, I think so. LOL, not sure the limit, but yes. Let's see what the replies for this. This is created attires, right? Not personas, because this is game changing. It's like, yes, it's game changing. I don't know if there's another response, but anyway. Yes, only the attire is able to be changed. So in other words, if you change everything for anybody, it will take a creative superstar slot. Yes, only the attire is able to be changed. So I'm pretty sure this is for in-game wrestlers, not your creative wrestlers. Because when I first read this, I got super excited. And I even had most of the video made. I'm like, wait a minute, I better read through this to make sure there's no confusion. And I'm glad I did, because this video would have been blasted. So it sounds like, so when you make a different attire for your in-game wrestlers, so not your creative wrestlers, the main roster wrestlers is what I'm trying to say, you can go through and you can change their attire stuff. Before, if you did that, it would save it as, take up one of your creative wrestler slots. And you're like, man, because what if you wanted some different attires? If you download a bunch of what's the status attires, it would take up a creative wrestler slot. And then it takes up your slots for your main wrestlers. Like, man, I don't want to do that because I'd rather just have it saved for me, personally, my creative wrestlers. Although there's plenty of space this year. I'm not going to make 200 wrestlers unless the creative wrestler is so dang good that I get all these ideas and I just create like a madman. But yeah, this is still really good news for those of you that really want your wrestlers up to date. From creators like What's the Status or whoever else likes to keep the characters up to date. I don't do stuff like that. I just make my own characters. So as the pay-per-views go by, if WWE doesn't have official stuff in the ringside pass, which I think that's what they're trying to get to in the future games, is as they release a new version of Rhea Ripley has a new attire, this has a new attire, they can literally just put it in the ringside pass, and then that's how you earn it. I think that's the whole point of the ringside pass. The overarching game plan to get more money out of us is, instead of having a fan create them online, they're just going to take those parts officially, and I think that's why they blocked out the modding community too. It's because they would just mod in modern versions of the wrestler. They'd look really good. The WWE games don't. They might have a team in place to get that done probably next year. I really think the whole point of the ringside pass is to set this up to where, as pay-per-views go on throughout the year, because there's a new ringside pass every, 2 months, the way they have it set up right now, that they're going to throw in an attire, like new special attire for certain wrestlers. And that's huge. That's really good. And I don't think they could get it to work on last-gen consoles. That's why they haven't done it yet. But, and how do they charge for that, right? They're going to charge 99 cents an attire? No, they're going to put it in the Battle Pass, and they're going to incentivize you to use virtual currency. So if you really look at the overarching game plan for the ringside pass, now that's not official, that's just my speculation, but I'm usually right about these kind of things, so stick around on the channel, because if you've watched some older videos, a lot of my guesses, a lot of what the stuff I predicted would happen, we're seeing it happen right now. But yeah, so that's a cool way to get new attires into the game, ringside pass. It really pads them out too, because they can't just do virtual currency for different modes and persona cards forever. They're going to have to up their game, and I think that's going to be a big feature next year, is adding in the attires for the wrestlers that they have for, let's say their WrestleMania attire. That'll be part of the WrestleMania ringside pass pack or something. There's so many different things that they could do next year to really improve upon this ringside pass concept. So anyway, if you like changing your in-game wrestlers attire or downloading attires, sounds like you can do it unlimited times, and it does not take up a character slot. Now, if you want multiple different ones saved, my guess is that it will take up a character slot. Thank you for watching. Sound off in the comments down below. What do you make of all this? Are you excited that in-game wrestlers changing their attire doesn't take up a created wrestler slot, because that's huge. You can go nuts with it this year. Hopefully, what it means is we have unlimited attire spots, or slots, or not unlimited, but way more than just 2 for our created wrestlers as well, because that would be huge. As always, stay frosty.